Ever wondered how to create tutorials that cater to both Android and iOS users? In a world where content creation is king, understanding the nuances of different platforms can mean the difference between a good tutorial and a great one. It's not enough to make a one-size-fits-all guide. Each platform, whether it's Android or iOS, has its own unique user interface, functionalities, and settings. And each user base has its own expectations and preferences. For developers and content creators, this means that a deep understanding of these differences is crucial. It's about creating an application guide that's not just usable, but also effective across diverse user bases. It's about addressing platform-specific features, navigation, and troubleshooting. It's about enhancing the usability and effectiveness of your guide. So let's dive deep into the world of Android and iOS and see how we can create effective tutorials for both. Scene script. Let's start with the user interfaces of Android and iOS. Picture this. You're standing in a contemporary art gallery. Each piece of art is unique, distinct, and offers a different perspective. Just like the art pieces, Android and iOS are two distinct platforms with their own unique characteristics, especially when it comes to user interfaces. On one hand, we've got Android. Android is like abstract art. It's flexible, customizable, and allows for a lot of personal expression. You can arrange your apps and widgets in any way you like, and even use third-party launchers for a completely new look. It's like having a blank canvas where you can paint your digital world just the way you want it. On the other hand, we have iOS, the epitome of minimalism, where simplicity meets functionality. It's like a carefully curated art exhibition, where everything is in its place and there's an understated elegance to the layout. The grid of apps is uniform across all iOS devices, creating a sense of familiarity and ease for users. It's like walking into your favorite coffee shop, where you know the menu by heart and the barista knows your order. But it's not just about aesthetics and layout. Each interface also has unique features that set it apart. Android's notification system, for instance, is highly customizable and allows for greater control over your alerts. On iOS, the control center provides quick access to a host of settings and tools right at your fingertips. These differences in user interfaces are more than just cosmetic. They fundamentally shape how users interact with their devices, how they access and use apps, and even how they perceive the digital world around them. As developers and content creators, understanding these differences is crucial for creating tutorials that cater to both platforms. So, whether you prefer the abstract artistry of Android or the minimalist elegance of iOS, one thing is clear. Both platforms offer a unique user experience that appeals to different tastes and preferences. Now that we understand the user interfaces, let's move on to the functionalities. Now let's delve into the functionalities of Android and iOS. In the world of smartphone operating systems, Android and iOS lead the pack, each boasting a plethora of unique features and functionalities. These functionalities not only set them apart, but also influence how users interact with applications on these platforms. Let's begin with Android, the open-source platform known for its flexibility and customization options. A standout feature is widgets, mini applications that provide quick access to app functions right from the home screen. This functionality allows users to personalize their experience and access key information at a glance. Then we have the back button, a staple feature in the Android interface. It provides an easy route to navigate back to previous screens or exit applications, ensuring a smooth and intuitive user experience. Switching gears, let's look at iOS, Apple's proprietary operating system, known for its simplicity and ease of use. One of its unique functionalities is Siri, a voice-activated assistant that can perform tasks and provide information. From sending text to setting reminders, Siri enhances user interaction with apps by providing hands-free control. Another significant iOS feature is the gesture-based navigation system. With a simple swipe or tap, users can open apps, switch between them, and close them, making navigation a breeze. Furthermore, both platforms provide accessibility features to cater to users with different abilities. Android's TalkBack and iOS's VoiceOver, for instance, read out screen content, making devices more accessible for visually impaired users. In the realm of security, iOS takes a more locked-down approach with features like Face ID and Touch ID, while Android offers a variety of options, including pattern, PIN, password, and biometric security measures. In essence, understanding these functionalities is crucial for developers and content creators. It allows them to tailor their guides and tutorials to ensure
ensure a seamless and intuitive experience for users, regardless of the platform they use. With the functionalities covered, let's now explore the settings.
Scene script. Next, we'll look at the different settings on Android and iOS. Diving into the world of settings for both Android and iOS, we find that there's more than meets the eye. Both platforms offer a wealth of options that, when understood and utilized properly, can greatly enhance an application's performance and user experience. Let's take Android for instance. Android offers a high degree of customization, allowing users to tweak and modify their settings to their heart's content. This flexibility can be a boon for tech-savvy users, but it can also present a challenge for content creators and developers. They need to ensure their guides cover a broad range of possible settings and configurations, as the user experience can vary significantly depending on how a device is set up. On the flip side, iOS opts for a more streamlined approach. It presents users with a simpler, more uniform settings menu that prioritizes ease of use over customization. This simplicity can make it easier for creators to develop guides, as there are fewer variables to account for. However, it also means they need to be mindful of the limitations this streamlined approach can impose on users. The differences between Android and iOS settings extend to how apps are granted permissions, how notifications are managed, and even how users can interact with an app through widgets. These are all crucial elements that can affect how an app performs and how users interact with it. Understanding these settings is not just about knowing what each button or slider does, it's about understanding how these settings can shape a user's experience and how they can be leveraged to ensure an app operates at its best. It's about acknowledging the unique characteristics of each platform and using that knowledge to inform the creation of comprehensive, easy-to-follow guides. As we delve deeper into the realm of settings, we start to see how a keen understanding of these can enable us to create tutorials that truly cater to the needs of all users, regardless of their platform of choice. With a clear understanding of user interfaces, functionalities, and settings, let's now explore how we can create effective tutorials. You've got the basics down. Now let's talk about creating effective tutorials for both platforms. Creating tutorials that cater to both Android and iOS users can seem like a daunting task, but by keeping a few key points in mind, you can ensure your guides are useful for everyone. Let's start with platform-specific features. Both Android and iOS have unique functionalities, so when creating tutorials, it's important to highlight these differences. For example, accessing settings in Android might be a swipe-down action from the top, while on iOS it's typically a dive into the Settings app. Next up, navigation. Android and iOS have different navigation systems, and understanding these differences is vital. Android users might be familiar with a back button or a navigation bar, while iOS users rely on gestures and the home button. When creating tutorials, remember to specify these differences so users on both platforms can navigate your app with ease. Now let's discuss troubleshooting. No app is perfect and issues may arise. Here, platform specificity comes into play again. Android users have the freedom to tinker with app settings, clear cache, or even reinstall apps without much hassle. iOS users, on the other hand, have a more closed system. Your tutorials should guide users through these processes, offering platform-specific solutions to common problems. But how do you ensure that your tutorials cater to both Android and iOS users without becoming too complex or confusing? The answer lies in simplicity and clarity. Break down your instructions step by step, use clear language and avoid jargon. Provide visuals where necessary and make sure to label them clearly for Android or iOS. Lastly, always keep the unique characteristics of each platform in mind. Android is known for its customization and flexibility, while iOS is praised for its simplicity and smooth user experience. Your tutorials should reflect these characteristics, offering Android users detailed instructions and options, while providing iOS users with straightforward, easy-to-follow guides. Remember, the key to creating effective tutorials is understanding your platform and adapting your content accordingly. So, there you have it, folks. We've journeyed through the realms of user interfaces, functionalities, and settings of both Android and iOS platforms. We've delved into the essence of creating effective tutorials that cater to the unique characteristics of each platform. The importance of this tailored approach can't be overstated. It's all about ensuring a seamless experience for users, regardless of their chosen device. Remember, Android and iOS might be different in their design, but your content should bridge that gap, making it accessible and user-friendly across the board. Consider the unique elements of each platform: the navigation, the platform-specific features, even the troubleshooting methods. Let these inform your tutorial creation process. Your guides should be as diverse as your user base, adapting to their needs and enhancing usability. With the right approach, you can create effective tutorials that cater to all users regardless of their platform. So go ahead and start creating.